Hello, hello, hello. My name is Andrea Joyce, and I am the author of 31 Ways to Self-Care. Self-care is my self-care is my business. Yes, it is. I am the queen of self-care. I don't know if I've introduced myself properly in the other videos. I am the self-proclaimed. Actually, no. One of my sisters gave me the name Queen of Self-Care. Thank you, Sheila. She calls me the queen of self care, and I absolutely will take that because self care has become very important to me the last maybe 5 years, especially in 2020 and going forward. But self care has become my mission for everyone. I need everybody to care for themselves. Get your copy of 31 Ways to Self Care at Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, on my website, www.authorandreajoyce.com and andreajoyce.net. Today we're talking about chapter 21, which is Get a Checkup. I'm listening to your sighs and your groans and your moans right now, but it's so very important. There are so many things that could have been prevented or at least postponed if people had gotten checkups, not a self check. Well, yeah, if you do self checks too, that's very important. Absolutely. Because if you feel anything unusual, if you have any bruising or any lumps, you immediately want to go and have it checked by a doctor. But there are things that if we had gone to the doctor when things first happened, they may have been prevented. It could have been preventive instead of reactive. So I want you to make doctor's appointments. Now I hear you and I understand because I've been there too. I don't have insurance. I hear it ringing in my ear. I can't afford to make payments to the doctor. I totally understand. I wish that we lived in a world or in a country where medical procedures, medication, all was free. That would be wonderful. Unfortunately, we don't. I would suggest, because I've been there before, checking out doctors in your area that do a sliding scale fee where it's based on your income. And if you don't make income, they have paperwork where you can fill out and get some assistance from your government, from your local government. There's also some clinics that are very low cost, depending on what you need. I had to learn how to do those things when I didn't have medical insurance myself. So I do understand it. There are some things that I let slide because I didn't have insurance. But with the way things are working, especially after 2020 with COVID, I'm very mindful to make sure I get my tail feather in a doctor's office. There's some hospitals too. If you have anything that's an emergency, anything that doesn't feel right, that you can go to. And it is mandated that hospitals must see you even if you don't have insurance, even if you don't have money to pay for that visit. But get yourself to a doctor and get examined. It's very, very, very important. It's not just our primary care, our primary bodies. We also need to make sure our eyes are good, check our teeth to make sure that's healthy because there's some diseases in the gums that can affect your mouth and your entire body. So you want to make sure that you're even getting that checked. For my women, make sure you're going to your gynecologist to make sure everything from the rooter to the tutor is good, okay? Get a checkup. I know. I'm speaking from experience. I did not have insurance for a lot of years. And I want to be honest with you and share this with you. Because I told you, we're peeps, we're friends, so I can talk to you. It's just me and you. There was a time I didn't have insurance for years. And it was near Christmas. This is when I had just been homeless in New Jersey. So I was in New Jersey. It's very cold. It was snowing. And I felt like a tingling sensation, but I thought nothing of it. And I went on about my day, my life, and everything. Christmas morning, I went to the bathroom and I looked at, no, it didn't even start there. I went to drink juice and I had a straw. And as I was doing it, I couldn't get my lips around the straw. I was struggling to hold it in my lips. And so when I drank, it was dribbling down. Actually, what's my right side? Dribbling down. I didn't know what was happening. When I looked in the mirror, my face had loosened, relaxed. It was slurred, not slurred, that's what I was doing, but it was slumped down like this. I thought I had had a stroke. The smart thing to do would have been to go to the emergency room immediately. But I didn't have insurance. I didn't know at that time the policy about hospitals. And I really didn't like going to the doctor. So I had three things that were working against me getting treatment. So I waited, and it's like it got worse. Now I couldn't talk. I sounded like one of the characters from Fat Albert. I think his name is Mumble Mouth. That's not his name, but that's what I sounded like. Like I was mumbling, and I was going. That's what it sounded like. I could have had a stroke. I would not have known because I didn't have insurance. I had a very good friend, and she was going to her chiropractor, and she said, "Come to the chiropractor with me. I have a certificate." Now, she didn't know what I was going through. She said, "I have a certificate. Come and get your back stretched and see if it's something you want to do." I went to the chiropractor, and he said, "Get to the hospital immediately. What's going on? What's wrong?" And she looked at me and she said, because mind you, while all this was happening, I had longer, well, I mean, it wasn't as long as this, but I had these are my natural locks. But I was wearing a wig at the time, and the wig kind of was like this a little bit, and I would brush it over. Wait, that's my left side. I would brush it over and do like this, so my mouth and eye was kind of hidden because this is the area that you could see something was wrong. Well, when he went to put his hands on me, he put my hair back behind me, and he saw me. He saw my face, and he said, "Immediately go for medical attention right now. Something is wrong." I said, "Sure, I'll go." I didn't go. A week or a week and a half later, yep, still my face was deformed, still didn't go. Two of my friends cared so much. They're like my sisters, so much for me that they had me go to the doctor. They tricked me. They took me to the hospital. They said, "If you don't go, I'm scared that you might die, so please go." I went to the hospital and found out I had suffered from Bell's palsy, which is a paralysis of your face on my right side. I wouldn't have known. I thought I had a stroke, and I was so fearful. Nothing else, everything else was working. I just had a paralysis of my face. He prescribed medication. He prescribed what would happen if I didn't take the medicine and what would happen if I took the medicine. And I made my choices. That's not the point of this. The point of this is that had I not gone to the doctor, to the hospital, I wouldn't have known what was wrong with me. And I would not have known how to work on it, how to not prevent it, but to heal it. And so I'm grateful for doctors. I had so many great doctors in my life. I had one that, had it not been for her, I would not have gotten a hysterectomy when I did. And when she was doing the procedure, the surgery, she found out I had endometrius. And it was so bad, I would have died. I'm not going to go into the graphic details, but it was the hardest surgery she had ever performed, and she had been doing surgeries for over 25 years. She actually prayed. She cried. And this was my tough doctor, when she realized that my life was truly in her hands, because I could have died. Had I not gone to her when I felt I should go to her, my gynecologist, I would not have known, number one, that I have fibroids. And number two, during the process, she found out I had endometritis. It wasn't talked about a lot back then. Thank goodness it's being talked about more and more and more now. So, getting a checkup. I want to be honest with you because I want to stress the importance. We like to self-medicate. We like to self-diagnose ourselves and go on these websites and look to see what our symptoms mean. But there's so many things out there that have similar symptoms. You just never know. So instead of guessing and maybe misdiagnosing yourself, go and get checked. Worst case scenario, you go to the doctor and they say, it's nothing. And now you've wasted $100 that you could have used for something else. But it could be where they see something and that $100 means saving your life. Go get a checkup. That's one of the best ways you can self care. Self care matters. You matter. You matter to me, and you matter to those you love. So go ahead and get your checkup. Self care is a way or something you should prioritize every day of your life.